Well, joining us now is House Ways and Means Committee member, New York Congresswoman Claudia Tenney. You know, Congressman, there's a number of different ways we could go with this, like spending his time talking to the UN about huge problems in his own city that are the fault of him and Democratic leadership. Setting that aside, though, he's whining about SNAP. Couldn't he just tell his own party, we need you to reopen the government?
Yeah, absolutely. Just go and vote on the floor. They've given them 14, 15, I don't know how many chances they've had. And, you know, really, President Trump, to his credit, has done everything he can to alleviate the pain that the Democrats are trying to inflict on the American people. You know, finding money in research and development accounts to help our troops and help them get paid, using tariff money to help with the WIC payments, trying to find a way to get to the SNAP payments. But guess what? They're in a contingency fund for a real emergency, not one created by the Democrats to use this leverage and use the American people to shut down the government on their own spending levels. So, you know, it's absurd. They just lie and look at the camera, read talking points. You know, it's just insane. I mean, it's hard to watch.
And I will note that the administration did just file with the Supreme Court a motion regarding the judge's order that was trying to force full payment on SNAP. So the Trump administration has taken this SNAP case all of the Supreme Court because once again we had judges trying to supersede what is happening with the legislative branch. I want to move on to this, Congresswoman. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries had a not-so-nice response when asked about Congresswoman Elise Stefanik running for governor of New York.
Elise Stefanik is nothing more than a handmaiden for Donald Trump's extreme policies. She's a sycophant who has been a repeated rubber stamp for Donald Trump's extreme agenda.
Congresswoman, your reaction to that?
Boy, are they triggered by conservative, principled women. This is the same guy who has a long record of anti-Semitism, who said blacks who were conservatives were Uncle Toms. He's written about this, and now he's attacking a conservative woman for standing up for law and order, or for, you know, economic benefits and prosperity for her own state in a rural upstate community. And he's using some kind of, you know, sexist trope against her, calling her a handmaiden. It's just absurd, but it just shows who he is. He's a weak leader. He's feckless. He has been just taken over by the far left. They're all falling in line with Mondami, who's his own set of conundrums each and every day, talking about Marxism and envy and everything that stands opposite of what our founders gave us in this wonderful gift of self-governance.
Congresswoman, does someone like Stefanik have a real chance of winning this race statewide next year? Because Tuesday night was not great for the GOP. You looked at some of the voting patterns there. Hochul is a complete disaster, but this is still quite a blue state. What's your assessment of Stefanik's announcement?
Yeah, well, first of all, let me just say, New Jersey is a very blue state that went blue. Virginia is a blue state that went blue. New York City is bluer than blue, and it went blue. No surprise, everybody knew that was going to happen. But let's tell you about upstate New York. We had all kinds of wins for Republicans in various places. Big, you know, blue cities turned red. Now we had a couple of blue cities that turned blue, and they were barely red. So, you know, what the secret to this is, you've got to get a certain amount out of New York City, like Lee Zeldin did, and then you've got to get your vote out in upstate New York. And the Republicans didn't turn out. So the challenge for Elise and all of us is to make sure we get the vote out on the Republican side. And I think the damage that could be and will be caused by Mondami and the Marxists who actually run Albany as well, when you see high taxes, out migration, and no one to pay the bills, it's going to be ugly, and you're going to see a real problem, and people are going to be looking to another answer other than Governor Cuomo or Governor Hochul, who, by the way, endorsed Mondami early. Even give it, you know, whether you like Chuck Schumer or not, and I totally disagree with his using this shutdown as leverage. He never endorsed Mondami and wouldn't even admit who he voted for, because he knows even if he doesn't run again, his legacy is not going to be to support a Marxist. So right now, she has a good shot. And if the Democrats continue on the road they're on, I think that people are going to start coming out with exasperation in upstate New York. It's our last chance, I think, to really take back this state.
Really quickly, Congresswoman, and every one of these Democrats is going to have to answer for every single screw-up by Mondani for time to come. Real quick.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see how transactional he is, or how much his soaring Marxist rhetoric is going to take over and get through the legislature that he needs for some of it, and also the city council.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that city council. Congresswoman Claudia Tenney, have a fantastic